I can't tell you how excited I am about this. Are you ready? Okay. We flip the switch and it boils the water. It just boils it. It's like magic. It just makes it hot.
There's no one farther away. If it rains, I know I'm home.
Fire over there.
I am en route to Chillagoe, a township 200 kilometres west of Cairns in far north Queensland. Around 400 million years ago, this region became a thriving coral reef. Way later, it even got elasmosaurs. It's wild. Now it's a network of around 560 limestone caves, and biologically, it is happening.
This is Chillagoe. Hardware store, general store. They have a town hall. Go around. Oh, come back. Hey, baby.
I'm setting up camp at the Chillagoe Eco Lodge and Observatory. It's a great spot, and unpowered camping is super affordable at $10 a night if you're powered by the sun like I am. After the tent set up, it's time to unpack all my equipment and charge my camera, lights, batteries, all my millennial nonsense, and then get ready for some serious exploring once the sun goes down. And now, for a word from our sponsors.
Do you like bugs and weird, wiggly, crawly things? Because I like bugs and those things that I just said. Once in primary school, this kid made fun of me for it, and he killed an ant in front of me just to make me cry. So I've spent the last 20 years building and training an ant army for the sole purpose of destroying him. She's Got Legs is a comedy wildlife education project that focuses on the weird things that everyone forgets about and steps on, which I heavily relate to for some reason. We bring your attention back to the stuff that you learn to hate and then unlearn you it. Good. But She's Got Legs needs your help, and not least with fixing my scripts before I say them. These stories and videos across YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are funded by our invaluable, charming, and just astoundingly attractive patrons at patreon.com/gotlegsmacro. Sign up for as little as $3 a month to fund the growth and training of the ant army. I mean, wildlife comedy education. And you can get cool stuff too as you go up the tiers, which you can then brag about. It's okay to brag. It's okay. And I drew a picture of this bug for you, but it's not very good. So. We've got somewhere to be. Just that you can't remember where or how to get there. Something's wrong with this stick. Keeps walking. And that one too.
Grass, stick, and sacks have a pretty great self-defense strategy. They're just like, sorry, no insect here. I'm dead. I'm a dead stick. Look how ultra dead I am. And the Oscar goes to... Oh look, it's a fluffy mammal thing. I stopped to film it. Because we all love fluffy things. Yep. Oh look, it climbed a tree. How clever of it, flippin' adorable. Let's move on. Now. Oh, good, there's more. Okay. Okay, bye. Bye-bye now. Bye.
Now this is quite exciting. There's an Archimantis here, which is something I have never even seen a photograph of before. This is Archimantis straminea. How do you say your name? One of the great things about coming out to these more remote areas is that it is a chance to see some of these species that may not exist yet in photographs and may just be known from a dead specimens in museums and we get to put a face to them, so that's terrific. So these occupants species, they tend to be quite long and skinny, grass dwelling. So it is camouflaging in really well with this bush right now. That weird pose that it's doing where it's like head sideways, one arm straight out. I think this one's supposed to be like this. I think you're not supposed... That pose is clearly all about blending in with this bush. So this is clearly where they like to live, which is good news. That means that if we're looking for more, we look at these bushes. But I can't see any more. Where are your friends? I've just stopped here because I wanted to take a look at this owl fly and get my hair caught in a tree. Owl flies are from the order Neuroptera, so these lace or net-winged insects. What's interesting about these guys is they're clubbed antennae, so they have these little bulbs at the top. They have these huge eyes, which makes them look really, really cute, but they are not cute. They are aerial predators of other flying insects. So they're not someone you want to meet on a day out if you were an insect, but for me, it's pretty exciting to see them. Ooh! I had an owl fly catastrophe and I'm trying to return it to its tree, but it doesn't want to go. Why do you want to be on me? That was your tree? But this can now be your realm. We can live with this. That's even better than I thought.
Let me get the mic on.
I did want to get a shot of this before I caught it, but I didn't think I wanted to risk it after I saw it on the move. So this is a new species of badge huntsman, which curiously has no badge. So I'll bring this closer. So badge huntsmen normally have a brightly coloured shield, like reds and oranges and blacks and whites underneath here, which they will display when they are feeling threatened to scare off potential predators. Now, it's not the first badge huntsman I've seen that's completely missing a badge. Like, you can see the outline of where one was as it was growing up, and I might suspect that as it's reached its final molt, that has quite reduced there, which is interesting. Why do these things happen? So that is her there. Hopefully I will get a nicer photo of her and put her up on the screen properly so you can see her in her full glory. So this is particularly exciting because this is one of the groups that I'm specifically looking for. You kind of have to have your head across the group as a whole and know which species are described within that group and which aren't known before you can go out and find new species. So being one of the groups that I'm pretty across, I am looking out for new huntsmen and particularly badge huntsmen. So this is a great thing to be able to bring back to the museums, and thank you to the She's Got Legs patrons for funding this find. I just felt something biting me and I reached down and I burst a mosquito. That's so gross.
I saw someone over here and forgot. Who was it?
Just wish it wasn't so unpleasantly windy here at the moment. Sometimes, like, I've tried to catch a few things and they've literally blown away while I was trying to catch them, and I've had to then catch them out of midair in the container. And I'm telling you, it looked hilarious and fantastic and I'm a hero, but also that was stressful. So what I've got here is a mantis that is as much like a stick as any mantis I've ever seen. Certainly not a very fancy looking mantis, but quite an interesting one, quite a character. So they do not stop moving, as you can see. She's just going for it. And they do walk around with their tail curled up, which gives them quite a funny little quirky look. Now, because they look so much like a stick, I do tend to find that they really thrive in sort of drier places, like this tree behind me, where it's not got many leaves going for it anymore. this definitely is pretty typical of where I found Ostrovaders before. It is one of those mantises that doesn't get seen or photographed very often. I think you can understand why if you're looking at it and you're looking at that tree behind me. It is not easy to spot. We will put you back. Thank you for visiting us. Doesn't want to go. Really doesn't. You just want to hang out with me now. We're pretty cool at She's Got Legs. So windy you can't make this stuff up. He's just crawled up onto my arm and won't go anywhere. I can't even put it back on the tree. Doesn't want to go. Like, I'm gonna turn the camera off and then put this back because this is gonna take a while. I was really tired last night and I wasn't finding any bugs, so I just went to bed and I could have fallen asleep like straight away. I was that tired. And then I started hearing this like grunting sound. I was like, what is this? I thought someone was like walking through camp and coughing. And I realized it definitely wasn't. And then I was like, some kind of animal is in my camp, which is fine, that's pretty normal. And I tried to ignore it and go back to sleep. But then I started hearing this rustling sound, like it was going through my stuff. And I got up and I ran out here in my underwear. I had my head torch on and I shone it over. And who had taken the food bag out of the car before they drove off and meant to put it back in and forgot when they got back? It was me. So I left this food bag out and there were like maybe 10 wallabies around, like going through my food, spreading it everywhere. I don't know if I have any breakfast left. I'm a fool. And they looked so guilty. It's been way too hot. RIP my lip balm. I need to do that like tauntaun thing from Star Wars where Han cuts the tauntaun open and stuffs Luke inside, except I need to do it to me and with this bottle of ice. Oh hey, it's air conditioning. Just caught this little Memarachne ant mimic jumping spider off my tent, which makes this the second time that I found one of these just basically walking in front of me. Last one I got just walked across the picnic table I was sitting at. They just want to be famous.
After being as hot as a bombardier beetle's behind all day, the temperature has crashed and it's heckin' windy. This is bad. Even on an absolute dud night, there's always ants to be found. Meat ants sound absolutely metal, but to be honest, they're kind of warm, fuzzy little ladies. They don't sting, but if you're determined to get on their grill, they'll like bite you and spray acid, which is pretty basic for an ant, really. Like, get more creative. With a name like meat ants, you're probably picturing this colony taking down like an adult buffalo and dragging it back to the nest. But truth be told, they're more likely to take down an adult bottle of red cordial. They're great scavengers though, so like don't nap next to a nest. Is that advice I need to give out on this video?
You can't, scruffy looking. So I sat down to tell you about this antlion I found that's as big as my head, possibly even bigger. And what's happened is I'm so exhausted that I sat down. I think what we might just do is sit here in companionable silence, or maybe we can make some small talk. Like, how was your day? How do you manage that whole thing you've got going on there? Like, do you ever just look down at your body and you're like, how did I get this? Like, one day I was this small creature that dwelled in the sand and built a cone to horrifyingly trap passing ants and kill them with my venom sticks. And then you were like, look, I'm big and hairy and winged. And like, do you ever just look down your body and you're like, I don't know what to do with all of this? Like, I can't relate because I haven't grown since I was 12, but I'm just wondering, like, what must it be like for you? That was actually pretty deep. That's not small talk. Do you like Star Wars? Your eye is amazing. Where did you get it? So that was an experience. My embarrassing admission is that it has been very hot in Chillagoe. So I was trying to do the work at the campsite and stuff. There was nowhere really to go, nowhere inside or anything. And I may have given myself some kind of minor brain meltdown from the heat after 2 days, despite doing everything in my power to cool down. So I was able, fortunately, to work in the library yesterday, and my brain started to return to normal, at which point I realized what had occurred. We were down at the weir. I am making sure to cool down. Please enjoy these wonderful views and the sound of gently falling water. And screaming birds occasionally. This is a Lipsidion. It's a beautiful cockroach, but what's most stunning about it at this stage is the underside. So I wanted to show you that because we were never going to see that while it's on the ground. It's gorgeous. See, cockroaches are cool.
I don't want to sound like a shill for big cockroach, but damn, we have some beautiful Australian cockroaches, and Ellipsidion are one of my favorites. They're day active, sun-loving, works of art. They eat flower stuff, they pollinate. 3 cheers for roaches.
It has been way too hot to do any photography today. I just tried to do a cockroach and I nearly died. But there's loads of little beetles here. Ooh. Why do they always stand so close to danger? Don't they realize? Just goes to show how lazy spiders are, I guess.
Kettle grip coming up. Brace yourselves.
I'm heading out in the daytime, which is highly unusual of me, but there's a species of spider that lives by the caves, which is best viewed by sunlight.
Look at that serious shade that I've parked in. Practically blacks out the sun. I had to fight for it. It's a busy car park. It's practically cool today. This species that's next to me, which I will attempt to make visible for you, is something that I was really keen to see this trip, and I have found already at night, but I thought, let's come back during the day and see it in its full glory. So this is Argype mascordi. So it's a species of St. Andrew's cross spider, which is specific to these rocky type areas, especially around Chillagoe, but it is more widespread. It does have a fairly specific habitat preference. It does want to be in these sheltered, cool, more moist areas. So we're talking about these rocky crevice areas, the mouths of caves. That's really good. Anywhere where the rock walls are going to come up high and give it shelter. But that also does include like under bridges and pipelines in this general area. But where you're not going to find it is a couple of meters that way, where there's cool rocky area. Gives way some dry, sort of sparse trees out there. We're not going to have this spider unless it gets really lost. I don't think it's going to live very long out there. So St. Andrew's cross spiders are famous for building a white silk stabilimentum into their webs, which has sort of a dual purpose. It both attracts prey to the web by reflecting UV light, which is really attractive to insects, but it also serves as a deterrent to things like birds that would otherwise just fly straight through the web. They're going to see that from a distance and go, something's there, probably not something I want to fly into, and veer off. And that's something that spider's not going to be eating. It's just going to ruin its day. So it's better off if they can prevent that happening. So that's the white silk decoration, and that's usually in a cross shape. Though when those spiders are juvenile, so the really, really little ones, they are making a star-shaped stabilimentum. So our Guy-P mascordi, that's continuing to make that shape all the way up, even as an adult. So it has a really, really cool web, basically. That's the cool thing about these guys, just their aesthetics. So I'm gonna put away this food bag so we don't get a repeat of the wallaby incident last night. Would be great if we could not do that. Don't look at my car, it's a mess. So dusty. Help. We are off to Mangana. Mangana? I don't know how to say it. To a walk. There's a walk there called the Archways. I think that's the place I'm thinking of that I want to go. Because it's an above ground walk, so I don't have to go into creepy caves on my own at night. But simultaneously, it's really rocky, so a lot of those animals that are hiding down inside the caves are quite happy to come up and hang out in that area, particularly at night, which means we've got easy access to have a nice close look at them and to film them, which you don't necessarily get when something's in a cave because it's just as likely to be way up on the roof, so you might not get to see much of it anyway. There's so much going on here and I just don't have the brain power to unpack it. I'll be honest, I forgot to save the map to my phone. Maybe I can check. Woo! So there was like a turn off and I didn't know if it was the right one. I guess we'll find out. In we go. It is warmer and sheltered in here, and that is good news, I think. Yeah, I think we'll have better luck in here. Or at least I'd prefer to be here rather than out there. Could just be biased. My camera flash is caught on my pants. Just pretend I didn't do that. There is a straight up huge assassin bug up here. It's massive for the kind that it is. I'm gonna try to get a good picture of it.
I did one better. I took a good video of it. This large assassin bug does exactly what it sounds like it does. Assassinates bugs. It's a predator of other invertebrates, killing and sucking them dry with a venom-filled, dissolving saliva. The strange, slow gait of this bug disguises it as a 90-year-old man, so you never see it coming.
Just saw a tail disappear around this tree and I know who it is. Oh, where is it gone? There is a ringtail gecko up this tree. Maybe we can find one that's a bit closer to us. That's not so great.
Here's a photo I prepared earlier.
Oh, hey! Guess who it is? What we've got here is one of the absolute biggest draws of the Chillagoe area for me, and that is the giant Chillagoe rock huntsman. And this one here, I say giant, but this is not even as big as they come, this one here. So you can see there's already quite a large huntsman. I'm not going to touch it, not because they're aggressive or dangerous. They are so fast.
So if I was to disturb this huntsman in any way, they actually can teleport. They do have that technology. They are quite an advanced species. So we would probably never see it again. And because I want to take a photo of it, I'm not going to do that. So this species, Chillagoe, is unique to this area. So it spends, I would say the majority of these guys are going to be living down in this cave network that's up here. But that doesn't mean they can't also live on the surface. So we do have the ones that live up on the rocks that will come out at night and spend the day hidden. So that's what I've got in this situation. Now, normally they do hunt quite low to the ground. You will find them positioned at the very bottom of the rock where it meets the horizontal surface of the ground, basically facing down and waiting to ambush any prey that comes past. And that's their preferred position. And I have found that if you do like disturb them and move them off the rock in any way, that they will run straight back onto it. It's like their happy place. So they're very specific about their little hunting zone. And they are quite a beautiful spider as well, I think. For a brown huntsman, they have quite a distinctive, contrasty pattern of brown and dark brown to black. So they're quite beautiful in that way. I would not be standing there if I were you. Like, what are you thinking? Leave. Leave now. This is an antlion. Woohoo! God, I'm being attacked. Ah! I handled that well.
You know, I'm never sure if the dubious teller is a gecko which is very skeptical about a lot of things, or if we should be skeptical that it is a gecko and not in fact a government spy. I have learned never to trust anything that licks its own eyeballs instead of blinking.
I am so mad right now. So I've been here for almost a week and it has been pretty much bone dry. The people here say, you know, it's barely rained in the past few months. And, you know, rain would have been amazing because we would have been able to see, you know, what gets active once the water hits. And it has been pretty dead here compared to the last time I was here. So I'm on my last night, my last day here, and I think I've got to prepare for tomorrow. So I booked my accommodation elsewhere, ready to pack up this morning, get up in the middle of the night, and my tent is covered in water. It has rained everywhere. So much. Oh, just trying to... Water. It knew that I was leaving. It waited for me to go. And the sky opened up. Oh, wow. Oh, no. We have a stowaway. Jumped at me while I was driving.
Paperbacks remind me of the gate lounge. New York Times bestseller, Iron Jet powered. If birds here flew southwards in the winter, it's the myth that's warmer in Antarctica. There we were. There's nowhere farther away. If it rains, I know I'm home. And if I see Lucy up there, I'll be sure to let you know. Peace of mind will come and it will
The sea when what is that face that you were doing? That's amazing.